If you've been following my channel since at least 2015, not counting something I uploaded a couple of years prior to that, you're probably aware that I've covered plenty of games from one particular indie developer. That indie dev is Kenta Cho, known more commonly by his moniker ABA Games. Now, Kenta Cho has been developing games for a pretty long time. He initially founded ABA Games all the way back in 1997, so he definitely has some experience within the video game industry, or at least where indie games are concerned. I'm not sure if he had worked on much bigger projects prior to that, and I've done videos on a lot of his games. I'm just going to say a lot because there's way too many of them to list, but I will say that the amount of games that he has released over the past 20 years is absolutely astounding. In fact, just in 2014 alone, he released over 50 browser-based games. So this guy is basically like Increpair in the sense that he releases a brand new game like once a week, or at least he used to. That is a bit of an exaggeration, of course, but my point is, the rate at which he was pushing out new games was eerily similar to Increpair, because that guy releases like 5 new games every single month. It's unbelievable. ABA Games is best known for the countless shoot-'em-ups he's released over the past 2 decades, and today, I'm going to be showing off more of his shoot-'em-ups because it just doesn't end for some reason. It would appear as though this rabbit hole has no bottom, but I wanted to demonstrate some more of his games to you guys because I thought it had already been a little while since we did one of those videos. It's been about a year. Last time we did this, I covered a few of the Flash games that he had put out. This time I'm going to be showing off some shoot-'em-ups that he actually developed specifically for the Xbox 360, or at least they're compatible with the Xbox 360 given the engine that they were built on. But they are playable on PC though, so don't worry about that. The first one we're going to be showing off here is called GearToyGear. This came out in 2009, so this is by far the most recent one I've played. The most recent ABA Games shoot-'em-up, because this has pretty much become like a mini-series at this point. I'm not sure how to describe GearToyGear without actually playing it, so rather than waste your guys' time with a long, tedious description as to what the game is supposed to be, like I normally do in these videos, why don't we just dive right into the action? Okay, I'm gonna have to try this again actually, because I had some technical issues before, but let's try this again. Press the Z button, and we're just gonna go, and we're gonna fire at some crap. Okay, so what exactly is happening here? Well, I don't have a damn clue, honestly, but what I like to imagine is happening here, based on the design of the enemies and the ship itself, is that you're these pair of red blood cells who have paired up and decided to go rogue, and they're now attacking this person's bloodstream, so that's basically what you're traveling inside. The enemies, which I like to imagine are white blood cells, they are trying to obliterate you, so they basically see you as a virus and they're trying to eliminate you here. Of course, I'm just using my imagination. With a lot of Kenta Cho shoot-'em-ups, that's pretty much what you have to use, because I never understand what's going on in like any of his games, not even his non-shoot-'em-up games, because shoot-'em-ups were not the only like genre that he chose to dive in throughout his like 2-decade-long career, but his shoot-'em-up games are definitely what he's best known for. So this is definitely one of the easier shoot-'em-ups that he's released, because your ship here, if you could even call it that, fires automatically. However, in order for your ship to actually fire at the enemies, you need to be directly in front of them. Like this purple stream or whatever basically shows your line of fire, and you have to move it over the enemies in order for your ship to target them, and you really do need to move around a lot in this game. Like this is one of those games where you have to keep constantly moving, otherwise you are going to die, because if you just stand still, it's very easy for bullets to hit you, because they try to target you directly. Also, as you can see, the enemies can come from behind you, which is also a bit of a pain, because, I mean, you can't predict that at all. Also, try to avoid the walls. Try to avoid the white blood cell walls as well, because those will kill you instantly. Also, these lasers that the red ones are firing at you, which can be kind of hard to avoid at times, but, again, just, you know, aim the purple reticle, or whatever the heck you would call it, directly at them, and your ship will fire at them. It's pretty simple as that. Now, if you do want to go a lot faster, you can hold down the X button, and you will gain speed, and you start going super duper fast, boys and girls. Oh god. Yeah, and when you're in the later stages, your ship goes extremely fast, and it's pretty much impossible to control. However, if you do want to get a bigger multiplier, you definitely want to go fast. Like if you're going for the high score, then you need to go at like supersonic speed here. Otherwise, yeah, it's not worth it. As far as I know, yeah, see, because if you're going all the way back to stage 1, your acceleration is a lot smaller, or like the speed at which you accelerate, or like your top speed is a lot lower than it is in the later stages, so your ship does speed up. You can also slow down by pressing the Z key, like pressing and holding it down, but if you do want to get more points, and you definitely want to be speeding up, like, I would only recommend speeding up on the sections where there are no walls, but even then, it's still kind of hard to avoid the bullets. Like, this is one of those games where there's so many explosions happening on the screen sometimes that you really can't even tell where you are in time and space. So that's also one of the things that makes this game a lot harder to play. And not only that, but I'm not even concentrating on what's going on here, because I'm trying so hard to explain what exactly is happening here. To see if I can see, like, these sections right here I have no problem speeding up. But in, like, the later sections where there's so many walls, or the later stages, then yeah, it really isn't worth it at that point. I mean, if you really want to get, like, a sense of speed here, then yeah, just pedal to the metal. Just floor it. One of the things I liked about Tourist Trooper in particular, which I played about 3 years ago, is that it does actually have like a speedometer telling you exactly how fast you're going here. I mean, your multiplier does kind of act as a speedometer, because if you're going faster, then it'll increase, and if you slow down, it decreases. And the default speed is like 1x. Like, if you're just going at the normal speed, all you'll have is a 1x multiplier, so it does have a secondary function as a speedometer. Oh god, yeah, it's these sections right here. This game kind of reminds me of Accelerator in a way, and if you don't know what Accelerator was, it was another game I had played on the channel back in, like, I think 2014. It was basically this game where you were controlling a ship, and the ship sped up gradually. What even is this enemy pattern? Okay, well, whatever, I killed it. Yeah, okay, I really don't like it when the ships come from, like, behind me like that, because I can't predict that. I could have definitely predicted that, but I didn't even bother to move out of the way. What I do really like about this, though, is that when you die, it shows you a replay of your previous run, which is also what Tourist Trooper did. But what was really cool about Tourist Trooper in particular is that it had various camera angles, so you could actually see that the game was, like, in full 3D. It had, like, flyby cameras, and it was really cool. This one doesn't have that, unfortunately. It's just locked in a constant third-person view. But yeah, this game kind of reminds me of Accelerator in the sense that, you know, you were going down these, like, long tunnels in a spaceship, but the ship sped up gradually, so over time, it got a lot more difficult to avoid the walls. Like, as the game progressed, it would start throwing various types of walls at you that you had to avoid, but because you were constantly speeding up, it got a lot harder, much more difficult to avoid running into the walls. GearToyGear definitely reminds me of that. The only difference here is that you can actually control the speed at which your ship flies around, because you couldn't do that in Accelerator. All you could do was speed up gradually, and there was no way to slow down. So it was mostly a matter of, like, reflexes. It was definitely a matter of skill, or it was more skill-based, and I don't even know what I got killed by there, but it doesn't matter. I think I got an extra life somewhere. I do believe once you get a high enough score that you will get an extra life. I'm just not sure which score at which you get that. Okay, no, I think what's killing me are the walls. Also, I have no idea if it's possible to destroy the walls. Probably not, considering you just lock onto enemies automatically. Yeah, when you get in front of the walls, it doesn't start firing at them, like your ship doesn't start firing at them. One thing that I will at least... Okay, yeah, I definitely should have gone up there. Yeah, but what I at least like here is that you can press the Z key and you can restart instantly, so always like that. You don't have to go back to a menu, or you don't have to navigate like 5 different menus in order to get back to the game itself. Always appreciate it when indie developers do that, or just any developer in general. Doesn't even have to be indie. You know, I guess if you want to look at it in a different way, you can also imagine the enemies as looking like pickle slices. I mean, that's kind of what the more erratic moving enemies, or the enemies with the more erratic movement patterns kind of look like, and then the bullets kind of look like mints. If there is one thing that I have to at least commend Kenta Cho for, I mean, he's created at least 9 million shoot-em-ups, but the fact that he's able to create a brand new shoot-em-up and make it feel so much different than anything he's ever released in the past, I feel like that's one of the things that makes his game so special in particular. I couldn't even see what was going on there, because everything was moving so damn quickly. But yeah, that's one of the things that I really do love about Kenta Cho's games in particular. It's like, he creates so many shoot-em-ups, but it's like, every single game he releases feels so much different than anything he's released in, well, the past 2 decades of his career, pretty much. This guy has been releasing freeware titles on the internet since, like, 1997, and not one of them feels the exact same as any other project that he released previously. Like, all of them feel so different, and they have their own unique art style. Maybe not their own unique music, because I do feel like a lot of the music that he includes in his shoot-em-ups, which I believe are all composed by him, by the way. I'm pretty sure he composes his own music for these games. But I do feel like the music is kind of repetitive. Like repetitive in the sense that all of the music in his shoot-em-ups sound the exact same. Like, to me, it all feels like the exact same music, or it follows the exact same, like, chord progression. It's usually this techno-style music, but I don't know, it just all sounds the same to me. If there's one minor gripe that I have about his games, is that he really needs to try and switch things up a bit with the genre that he chooses. Like, for his music specifically, he can continue making as many shoot-em-ups as he wants, but try something different with your soundtracks for once, because it's just... It just feels repetitive at this point. It's just getting old. There's only so much techno that I can listen to in a video game soundtrack before it starts getting tiresome. Anyway, guys, that's all I really have to say about GearToyGear, honestly. It's a very simple shoot-em-up. As far as I know, it's endless. I don't believe it has an ending, at least. As with most of his games, though, it does get progressively harder as the stages go on, but it's still definitely a really cool shoot-em-up. Has a really unique art style, very different from any of his other titles that I've covered on the channel. And unlike most of his other shoot-em-ups, this one has a very exhilarating sense of speed. Like, you can speed up so quickly, and you're just dodging all these walls, missing them by mere centimeters. It puts you into a zen-like state, almost, when you play it. Of course, that zen-like state would probably be a lot more profound if I was actually good at the damn game, but this is definitely really cool. Regardless of its simplicity, it's still a very enjoyable shoot-em-up. I mean, no other game like this has really given me that much of a breathtaking sense of speed before. If you like your shoot-em-ups twitchy and just downright chaotic, then I definitely recommend this one. Link's in the description, as it always is. However, that's not where I'm going to end the video, because the next one I would like to show off before I leave today is Mayhem. So let's go and give that one a try, shall we? Alright, so this is Mayhem. This was also created by ABA Games. This one is a bit older though. This came out in 2008. This one is definitely a lot calmer than GearToyGear, but it still gets pretty hectic at times. Anyway, let's quickly dive right into Mayhem here. So what exactly is going on? Well, you're not controlling 4 red blood cells anymore. You are controlling a tank. So this right here, it says tap A to bash. I don't understand what exactly that means, because I don't believe there's an actual way to, like, bash enemies. All I know is that you can shoot them and they blow up eventually. So you have all of these balls that are rolling towards you. Well, some of them are, but others are retreating like the tiny little cowards they are. But yeah, these balls are shooting bullets at you, and this is one of these classic shoot-em-ups where, wow, really? This is one of these classic shoot-em-ups where you only die if a bullet hits the center of your ship, or in this case, your tank. Yeah, you have to be careful here, because sometimes the bullets can come at you from behind. Oh yeah, and also, this is kind of like our Rootage, in which there's so many bullets on the screen that the game cannot handle it. Like, the game just cannot take the carnage, cannot take the massive amounts of carnage that are being dealt on the screen right now. So you can press the Z key to turn left, or C key to turn right, and if you press Z and C at the exact same time, you can do that. That was hyper mode that you just saw right there, but I wasn't expecting it to just blow up the boss of the first stage so quickly like that. Yeah, if you press Z and C, you can activate hyper mode. And the duration of hyper mode depends on the number in the bottom right corner of the screen. So when you destroy these balls, there are these little green objects that fly out of them, and you can pick them up. I don't believe the balls themselves hurt you. I think only their bullets can actually kill you here. The balls themselves don't do jack crap to you, so you're basically invincible to those guys at least. Like, to the balls themselves. Yeah, see, they just travel through you, but oh my god. Even though you can't get killed by the balls themselves, you oh my lord, you definitely want to take them out quickly, because Christ almighty, if they manage to spawn like 10 million of them, then yeah, the game's probably gonna freaking crash or something. So you can also press the X key to dash around right here. This is probably what they mean when they say bash. Wow, okay, I already... Hang on a second, let me try to do this a lot better this time. So yeah, you can press the X key to dash, and it also appears to throw out a bomb when you do that. Like, every time you dash around, you also throw out this bomb that explodes, and it damages all of the enemies around it. I'm not sure if you have an unlimited supply of bombs, though, because I don't see like a bomb counter on the user interface here, or the heads-up display, I should say. Oh my god, dude. But yeah, you can definitely use it to, you know, dodge out of the way here, so you can definitely dodge the bullets. Kind of like a dodge roll, almost. It says LS and RS to enter hyper mode, but this is essentially what it is. You can also tell that this was made for Xbox 360, because it's literally giving me Xbox gamepad controls here. But I'm just playing this with my trusty old keyboard, even though it is a little bit more complicated, but yeah, I can still handle it. I can get used to its shittiness. I mean, I've gotten used to the shittiness of a lot of terrible control schemes in video games. I'm not sure how I do it, but I guess I just have a thing for crappy control schemes. Now, you'll also notice that when you fill up the balls with bullets, they will actually expand, and eventually they'll reach a size that they can't handle, and then they'll just pop. That is a really cool little mechanic, though, the fact that you fill these guys up with bullets, and they expand, like, see, they get a lot larger, and then eventually they just burst into those little green objects that you can then pick up, and then you can use to enter hyper mode. You'll also notice that when you enter hyper mode, it does destroy some of the bullets around you. Yeah, it definitely makes you a lot more powerful. I don't know if this makes you faster, though. Oh my god, dude, yeah. I'm gonna be staying in hyper mode for quite some time here, because look at all this crap that I'm picking up. I think I'm on the 3rd stage now. I'm not even keeping track. I'm just lost. Just lost in the music, and also lost in the array of bullets here. Oh my god. Wait, are the bullets getting larger? I don't know, but the attack patterns are getting a lot crazier. I know that for a fact. Okay, I have to try, like bashing and dashing a little bit. Oh, geez. Okay, well, that was not good bashing and dashing. Here we go. Just move all around the friggin' place here. Yeah, you can't turn very quickly, though. It's the only downside. Oh, Lord! How did that not kill me? Okay, well, how did, like, the last 10 bullets not kill me here? I also noticed that the balls can sometimes merge with one another in order to form, like, larger chains of balls, so they can fire even more bullets. Yeah, and then I think the boss of the stage is, like, the gigantic sphere in the center, and he's the one that just lags the game to hell and back. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Okay, you go away. You go away. Yeah, you'll also notice that they start flashing red. When they start flashing red like that, that means they are about to die. Okay, get the bullets out of here. Oh wait, they all turn into the little green objects. Oh, alright. So I guess that's another way I can just clear the screen. Okay, well, thank Christ for that, because not even the game can handle it. Yeah, sometimes Kenta Cho creates some shoot-em-ups that are like so insane that not even the engines he builds his games on can handle this craziness. Maybe he wants to try and remedy that in his future projects, perhaps, but, well, then again, this is one of his older projects. This came out in, like, 2008, like I said, but I'm pretty sure this game kept receiving updates for at least a year after it had initially been released. And as far as I know, Kenta Cho has never released any games commercially. All of the, like, I don't know, I presume hundreds of games that he's released so far, they're all free to play. They're all freeware titles, so you guys can go and download these games and play them right now if you so desire. As always, I provide the links to these games in the description. Oh, wow. Oh my god. Okay, maybe I should try dashing a little bit. Hang on a second. I need to go into hyper mode right about now. Oh, wow, that bullet was coming at me a little too fast. As with GearToyGear, it does show you a replay of your previous run when you do die. You can also press the escape key to go back to the main menu if you want to stop playing abruptly, or like if you just want to stop playing immediately, because unfortunately there is no pause button. I don't think there's a pause button like any of his games, which is also something that he may want to consider fixing. Yeah, you see how much that ball expanded when you just load it up with bullets. Okay, hang on a second. I should probably, yeah, just convert this into little green stuff that I can pick up here. Because I don't know what else to call this. I don't believe this has like an official name. Oh geez, okay, that one was getting a little bit spazzy. Okay, is this guy trying to leave? Well, I can kind of go inside the level geometry, which is a bit odd, but okay, wow. I can't even tell where the invisible walls are, because, like, there's an invisible wall right here, but I can kind of go inside the little crystals. Okay, well, weird placement of invisible walls aside. Oh god, what is happening over here? I don't even know anymore. Here, get some bombs, please. Get some bombs? Oh gee, no, don't dash right into one. This is by far the best game, in my opinion. This is just so fun and satisfying to play because it's not as fast-paced as GearToyGear. Again, there's still so much crap on the screen that the game just loses its shit after a while. But honestly, this one is by far a lot more fun to play because you have like total movement right here. Like you have like total freedom over where you can move, and your ship is not constantly like blazing down a tunnel at 500 miles per hour. It's a nice change of pace, and you can like dash in order to avoid bullets, so you can pull off some pretty cool dodges like that right there. Yeah, see, if I don't take care of these guys quickly, then they're gonna start merging with one another, and then everything's gonna get out of hand. Oh gee, okay, I didn't realize the boss could roll towards me. Okay, I didn't know that was a feature. Scared the bejesus out of me. Then I didn't realize he was rolling towards me. He was like trying to crush me here. Yeah, I could honestly play this one all day because this is by far my most favorite. Like I mentioned before, I think in one video that like Taurus Trooper was my most favorite game that Kentacho released. This one might have actually beaten it. Like I only played this for maybe 2 minutes off screen before recording it, but it quickly became like one of my favorite Shm'ups. Despite the fact that this is probably very obscure and like only 3 of you who are actually gonna watch this video have probably probably know what this game is or have heard of it before and have even played it yourselves, but still, this is really freaking cool. I wouldn't have a problem paying money for this. I really wouldn't. Like, this is not something I would probably pay like $60 for, like not a full AAA price or anything, because this is just a small little indie game made by a relatively unknown developer, or at least he's not that well known outside of Japan, because he is Japanese, for the record. I don't care if this is obscure as hell. I love this to death. I'd probably pay at the very most $5 for this, but the point is, I wouldn't have an issue spending money on this if this was a commercially released product. I wouldn't have a problem with it. You pair over there. You're trying to run away from me. I caught the hooligans. I caught the hooligans, are invading my territory. Oh good lord. Oh good lord. Okay, well I was gonna go for a little bit of a zen moment there, but yeah, I'm like so much larger than you guys as well, but it's like when I start popping bullets into you, and then you start expanding and you look all scary. Ooh, good dodge. Oh my god. Amazing dodge right there. See how you can like squeeze right through the bullets like that? They come within like centimeters of the center, but you can just breeze on past them like that. That's one of the things that I really loved about our routage as well. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Okay, but I think I am going to die on purpose here, guys. Yeah, you can also kind of see that dying is a little bit difficult. Yeah, how are you boys doing? Oh, the boys are ganging up on me. Oh, well, the boys have killed me. Yeah, the AI behavior is definitely interesting to look at as well, because look at all the balls just trying to merge with one another. I think it's like they're trying to combine so that they get a lot stronger. Like, I'm just fascinated by the way that this game's AI works. I like Mayhem. Definitely go and play Mayhem, because, frankly, I think it is a lot better than GearToyGear. And actually, the fact that the enemies are all, like, tiny little balls like that, it reminds me a lot of Waves. There was another shoot-'em-up I covered on the channel a couple years ago called Waves, and Waves also had very similar enemies like this, like these tiny little balls that would roll towards you and fire bullets at you. Definitely reminds me of that as well. Really do like the art style here, despite its minimalism. So that's pretty much everything I have to say about GearToyGear and Mayhem, guys. Just 2 little freeware shoot-'em-ups. They're pretty old. They came out quite some time ago, almost a decade. Well, over a decade in the case of Mayhem. This came out at like the very beginning of 2008. But I would still recommend giving them a shot, because these are some really fun indie games. I've always been fascinated by the indie games that have come from ABA Games over the past few years. Like, from the time I first discovered his games in, like, I don't even know how long ago it was, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Ever since Parsec 47, it's been like non-stop love and appreciation for this indie developer in particular, from me at least. It really is unfortunate that not more people know about his projects, because they are some of the most fun I've ever had in a video game, honestly, and I really do mean that. In fact, I think his games were pretty much what got me to love and appreciate shoot-'em-ups. So yeah, if you're at all even remotely interested in shoot-'em-up games like this, then I highly encourage you to go check out some of the games that Kenta Cho has released, because they are an absolute blast to play, and I really do wish his games got more recognition, because I barely hear anyone ever talk about them. Like, I hear practically no one talk about them, and that's really unfortunate, because he has created, in my opinion, some of the best shoot-'em-ups of all time. Or at least I personally think they're some of the best of all time. Maybe your opinion differs from mine, and it most likely will, considering his games are not like, you know, like, internationally recognized. They're not like Ikaruga, in which they've pretty much achieved legendary status at this point in time, but they're still really cool, and they definitely possess some unique ideas of their own, so I would still recommend checking them out regardless, if you have the time. So, as always, the links to these games are in the description, and I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. Just wanted to put out a bit of a shorter video this time around, just to make up for, like, all of the in some cases, over hour-long videos that I've been putting out as of late. I really need to get a lot better at pacing these videos, and I'm hoping that change will begin with this one, slowly but surely. Anyway, thanks as always for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video I make. Later!